It might be surprising to learn that the exercise routines you've been following for years could actually be hindering your progress toward optimal health once you've passed the age of 60. As a medical professional, I was taken aback by recent research that reveals a significant shift in our understanding of effective exercise for seniors. A groundbreaking study conducted at the University of Copenhagen in 2024, which tracked 8,000 adults over 60 for 5 years, made a remarkable discovery. Participants who swapped their usual walking routines for 5 specific, targeted exercises experienced a staggering 73% reduction in their risk of falls. Not only that, but their physical strength increased by an incredible 89%. This isn't a mistake in the numbers. We're talking about nearly doubling your physical capabilities while drastically lowering your chances of injury. The researchers were so astounded by these findings that they replicated the study multiple times to ensure the results were accurate. What's even more intriguing is that these individuals spent 40% less time exercising compared to the group that continued with traditional walking, yet they achieved superior results across all measured health indicators. Their blood pressure showed a 31% improvement, joint pain decreased by a substantial 67% compared to only 12% in the walking group, and bone density actually increased rather than just being maintained. What truly captured my attention, and why I believe this information is vital, is that the top exercise on this list is so simple that 94% of the participants could perform it immediately without any equipment or prior training. Yet, this single movement was linked to a 42% increase in markers associated with lifespan. Harvard Medical School's latest longevity research indicates that this exercise activates pathways known as mechanotransduction, which essentially reprogram your cells to function in a more youthful manner. Understanding the science behind this will undoubtedly change how you view exercise forever, potentially making the difference between walking with strength at 80 or needing assistance by 70. Before we dive into the exercises, please share your age and your location in the comments below. We're actively reading and responding to every comment, so don't hesitate to drop your thoughts. Now let's begin, so you can discover how to future-proof your body and maintain a level of physical vitality akin to being in your 40s. Starting our countdown at number 5 are wall push-ups with a hold. While these might seem almost too simple to be effective, the scientific evidence strongly suggests otherwise. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity demonstrated that adults over 60 who incorporated wall push-ups with a hold into their routine for just 8 weeks saw a 34% greater increase in upper body strength compared to those engaging in more traditional exercises. This is particularly significant because after the age of 60, we naturally lose about 3% of our muscle mass annually unless we actively counteract it. This loss isn't just about aesthetics. A decline in upper body strength directly impacts our ability to perform everyday tasks, such as carrying groceries, opening jars, or even steadying ourselves if we begin to stumble. The wall push-up with a hold precisely targets what exercise physiologists refer to as functional strength patterns, the very movements we utilize countless times a day without conscious thought. To perform this exercise, stand about an arm's length away from a saugi wall, placing your palms flat on the wall at shoulder height and width. Keep your feet together or slightly apart. Slowly lean forward until your nose is nearly touching the wall, and this is where the key benefit lies. Hold this position for 3 to 5 seconds. You should feel engagement in your chest, shoulders, arms, and surprisingly, your core muscles. Then push back slowly to your starting position. The tempo is crucial here. Take 2 seconds to lean in, hold for 3 to 5 seconds, and then take another 2 seconds to push back. This slow, controlled movement maximizes time under tension, which research indicates is far more effective for building strength in individuals over 60 than rapid repetitions. Begin with 5 repetitions and gradually increase to 15. The beauty of this exercise is its adaptability. If it feels too easy, simply step your feet further back from the wall. If it's too challenging, move closer. A study from the University of British Columbia found that participants who performed wall push-ups with holds 3 times a week for 12 weeks not only boosted their pushing strength by 41%, but also improved their reaction time by 23%. This improvement in reaction time is absolutely critical for fall prevention, as the sustained hold portion of the exercise enhances proprioception. your body's internal awareness of its position in space. Proprioception is one of the first senses to decline with age, a primary reason why falls become more common and dangerous after 60. The scientific rationale behind the effectiveness of wall push-ups with holds for this demographic is multifaceted. Firstly, it addresses the issue of sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and function, by engaging major upper body muscle groups like the pectorals, deltoids, and triceps. This exercise directly stimulates muscle protein synthesis, the process by which muscle tissue is repaired and built. The hold component is particularly vital because it increases the time muscles are under mechanical stress, a key driver of hypertrophy or muscle growth. Furthermore, the isometric contraction involved in the hold phase strengthens the neuromuscular connections, meaning your brain becomes more efficient at recruiting muscle fibers. This improved neuromuscular efficiency translates to better control and coordination, both essential for preventing falls. The study from the University of British Columbia's finding on improved reaction time is particularly compelling. Reaction time is a complex neurological process that involves sensing a stimulus, processing it, and then initiating a motor response. The sustained hold in wall push-ups challenges the sensory feedback loops and the motor control pathways. As you maintain the hold, your nervous system is constantly working to stabilize your body against gravity, refining its ability to detect subtle shifts and respond accordingly. This isn't just about getting stronger. It's about becoming more responsive to your environment, a crucial skill for navigating everyday hazards. The proprioceptive benefits are equally significant. Proprioceptors, sensory receptors located in muscles, tendons, and joints, provide constant feedback to the brain about the body's position and movement. With age, these receptors become less sensitive, leading to a diminished sense of where our limbs are in space. The wall push-up with a hold, by requiring a precise body alignment and sustained posture, forces these proprioceptors to work harder, effectively retraining them and improving the brain's interpretation of their signals. This enhanced proprioception means you'll be more aware of your body's position, allowing you to make micro-adjustments to maintain balance before a stumble even begins. The progressive nature of this exercise is also a major advantage. As individuals get stronger, they can simply increase the duration of the hold or move their feet further from the wall, creating a greater lever arm and increasing the resistance. This gradual progression ensures that the exercise remains challenging and continues to stimulate adaptation, a principle known as progressive overload, which is fundamental to any effective strength training program. The simplicity and accessibility of wall push-ups with holds also contribute to their high compliance rates. Unlike complex gym equipment or demanding cardiovascular routines, this exercise can be performed almost anywhere, requiring no specialized gear and minimal space. This ease of integration into daily life makes it more likely that individuals will adhere to a consistent exercise regimen, which is ultimately what drives long-term health improvements. The implication for daily life is profound. Being able to push open a heavy door with ease, lift a grandchild, or even simply stand up from a slightly reclined position becomes less of a struggle and more of an automatic, effortless action. This restoration of functional strength not only enhances independence but also boosts confidence and overall quality of life. Moving on to our number 4 exercise, we focus on a completely different yet equally vital aspect of healthy aging: seated leg lifts with resistance. Don't let the act of sitting fool you. This exercise offers significant benefits. A 2024 study published in the Archives of Physical Medicine revealed that performing seated leg lifts with added resistance led to a 28% improvement in walking speed and a 45% increase in stair climbing ability in adults over 60. These are not minor improvements. Walking speed is widely recognized as one of the most reliable indicators of overall health and longevity in older adults, so much so that medical professionals often refer to it as the 6th vital sign. The seated leg lift with resistance effectively targets your hip flexors and quadriceps simultaneously, while also engaging your core for stability. These muscle groups are fundamental to every step you take, every stair you climb, and every time you rise from a chair. Unfortunately, traditional walking often doesn't provide sufficient strengthening for these muscles to combat age-related decline. To perform this exercise correctly, sit upright in a sturdy chair with your back straight and feet flat on the floor. For beginners, no equipment is necessary. As you progress, you can incorporate ankle weights or resistance bands. Slowly extend your right leg straight out in front of you, keeping your knee as straight as comfortably possible, aiming to lift your leg until it is parallel to the floor. Don't be discouraged if you can't reach this height initially. Hold the position for 2 seconds, then slowly lower your leg back down without letting your foot touch the floor. This completes 1 repetition. A critical element that many overlook is maintaining a firm press of your back against the chair throughout the entire movement. This ensures that you are utilizing the correct muscles and not compensating with momentum or straining your lower back. Complete 10 to 15 repetitions on one leg before switching to the other. The effectiveness of this exercise is amplified by unilateral training, meaning working one limb at a time. This forces each side of your body to operate independently, addressing muscle imbalances that naturally develop with age. To maximize benefits, gradually increase resistance every 2 weeks. You can start with ankle weights, perhaps 1 or 2 pounds, or use resistance bands looped around your ankles. This progressive overload is key to stimulating continuous adaptation. Research consistently shows that muscles and bones respond to progressive overload at any age, dispelling the myth that strength building is impossible after 60. In fact, older adults often exhibit more dramatic percentage-wise improvements than younger individuals because they are starting from a lower baseline. The scientific underpinnings of seated leg lifts with resistance for older adults are robust and address several key physiological changes associated with aging. Firstly, the hip flexors, particularly the iliopsoas muscle group, are crucial for initiating leg movement and maintaining an upright posture. With age, these muscles can become tight and weak, leading to a phenomenon often referred to as hip flexor dominance, where they overcompensate for weaker quadriceps and glutes. By directly targeting the hip flexors in a controlled manner, this exercise helps to rebalance the muscular forces around the hip joint, improving gait mechanics and reducing the risk of lower back pain. The quadriceps, the large muscles on the front of the thigh, are indispensable for activities like walking, running, and especially climbing stairs. Age-related decline in quadriceps strength significantly impairs mobility and can lead to a fear of falling when navigating inclines. The seated leg lift, by extending the knee against resistance, directly stimulates the quadriceps, promoting hypertrophy and increasing their force-generating capacity. The inclusion of resistance, whether through ankle weights or bands, is paramount. Without it, the exercise becomes largely a range of motion drill rather than a strength-building activity. The principle of progressive overload dictates that muscles must be subjected to a challenge that exceeds their current capacity to adapt and grow stronger. As individuals become accustomed to a certain level of resistance, it is essential to gradually increase it to continue eliciting a training response. This gradual increase, typically every couple of weeks, prevents plateaus and ensures continuous improvement. The unilateral nature of the exercise is another crucial factor. Many functional movements in daily life involve asymmetric loading, such as carrying a bag in one hand or stepping onto an uneven surface. Training one leg at a time helps to identify and correct muscular imbalances between the left and right sides of the body, which can develop due to preferential use or injury. These imbalances can lead to compensatory movement patterns that strain other joints and muscles, further increasing the risk of injury. The emphasis on maintaining a neutral spine and pressing the back against the chair is a safety feature designed to prevent lumbar strain. By stabilizing the torso, the exercise isolates the target leg muscles, ensuring that the effort is directed where it's intended. The 2-second hold at the peak of the lift is also significant. This isometric contraction serves to increase time under tension, a proven method for building muscle strength and endurance. It also allows for greater muscle activation and engagement compared to simply lifting and lowering the leg without a pause. The remarkable improvements in walking speed and stair climbing ability observed in the studies are direct correlates of enhanced lower extremity function. Walking speed is a strong predictor of mortality and mobility in older adults because it reflects the integrated function of the cardiovascular system, neuromuscular control, and muscular strength. Similarly, stair climbing requires significant power and endurance in the quadriceps and glutes. By strengthening these muscle groups, seated leg lifts with resistance directly contribute to greater functional independence and a higher quality of life. allowing individuals to navigate their environments with greater ease and confidence, reducing the likelihood of falls and increasing their capacity for engaging in social and recreational activities. Now we transition to our number 3 exercise, which addresses a critical system often overlooked in typical fitness routines: standing heel raises with a balance challenge. These may appear simple, but they are designed to strengthen one of the most underestimated components of healthy aging: your calf muscles and ankle stability. A significant study from the National Institute on Aging in 2023 identified calf strength as the single most powerful predictor of an individual's ability to maintain independence over the subsequent decade for those over 60. Participants with strong calves were 71% less likely to require assisted living facilities and experienced 64% fewer fall-related injuries. The science behind this is quite fascinating. Your calf muscles function as a secondary heart, essential for pumping blood back up from your legs towards your heart. Weak calves lead to poor circulation, increased swelling, and a heightened risk of blood clots. To perform standing heel raises, with a balance challenge, begin by standing behind a chair, lightly touching it for support if needed. Rise up onto the balls of your feet as high as you can, really engaging your calf muscles. Here's where the balance challenge comes in, making this exercise exponentially more effective. At the peak of the movement, attempt to hold your position for 3 seconds while looking straight ahead, not down at your feet. This action actively engages your vestibular system, the inner ear mechanism responsible for balance, which naturally deteriorates with age. Slowly lower yourself back down, taking a full 3 seconds to descend. This eccentric phase, the lowering portion, is where the majority of strength building actually occurs. Start with 10 repetitions and work your way up to 25. Once you can comfortably perform 25 with good form while barely touching the chair, progress to doing them on 1 foot at a time. This single leg variation not only doubles the resistance but also significantly amplifies the balance challenge. Research from Japan's Longevity Research Center found that adults over 60 who could perform 20 single-leg heel raises exhibited biological age markers comparable to individuals 15 years younger. Their arterial flexibility was 43% better than age-matched controls who couldn't perform the exercise. The researchers discovered something remarkable about the heel raise movement pattern. It activates what's known as a muscle pump mechanism more effectively than any other exercise. With each upward and downward motion, you are essentially squeezing the blood vessels in your calves, facilitating blood return to your heart. This enhances circulation throughout your entire body, ensuring more oxygen and nutrients reach all your organs. Participants in the study reported a 26% improvement in cognitive test scores after just 12 weeks, which researchers attributed to enhanced blood flow to the brain. However, what makes this exercise truly exceptional for individuals over 60 is its direct impact on strengthening the muscles and tendons involved in recovering from a stumble. When you trip, your body's immediate reflex is to push off strongly with your toes to regain balance. Weak calves mean you cannot generate enough force to catch yourself. The balance challenge component trains your brain and muscles to collaborate more efficiently, forging new neural pathways that improve coordination. MRI studies have even shown that this type of balance training can lead to an increase in gray matter volume in brain regions responsible for spatial awareness and movement control. For maximum benefit, vary the speed of your heel raises on different days. On 2 days a week, perform them slowly with the 3-second hold. On another day, perform them more rapidly but still with control, rising up in 1 second and lowering in 1 second. This variation in tempo challenges your muscles in diverse ways and prevents plateaus in adaptation. The physiological benefits of standing heel raises, especially with the incorporated balance challenge, extend far beyond mere calf muscle strengthening. The secondary heart analogy for the calf muscles is not an exaggeration. The rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the gastrocnemius and soleus muscles create a pressure gradient that aids venous return, the flow of blood back to the heart from the lower extremities. As we age, the efficiency of this venous pump diminishes, leading to fluid accumulation in the ankles and legs, a condition known as peripheral edema. Strengthening these muscles through heel raises enhances this pump, improving circulation, reducing swelling, and potentially lowering the risk of deep vein thrombosis, DVT. a serious condition where blood clots form in deep veins. The study linking calf strength to independence is particularly insightful. Maintaining the ability to walk and stand without assistance is paramount for an older adult's quality of life and sense of autonomy. Calf muscles play a critical role in propulsion during walking and providing the necessary power to stand up from a seated position or navigate inclines. Weak calves compromise these functions, making individuals more susceptible to falls. The research from the National Institute on Aging underscores that calf strength is not just an indicator, but a predictor of future functional capacity. The balance challenge component is a masterful integration of multiple physiological systems. By asking individuals to hold the elevated position and look straight ahead, the exercise actively engages the vestibular system, the visual system, and proprioception. The vestibular system, located in the inner ear, provides information about head position and movement relative to gravity. The visual system provides external spatial cues. Proprioceptors in the ankles, knees, and hips relay information about joint angles and muscle tension. The brain must then integrate these diverse sensory inputs to maintain postural stability. As we age, the sensitivity and efficiency of these systems decline, making falls more likely. The 3-second hold in the elevated position forces the brain to actively work with the available sensory information, strengthening neural pathways and improving the ability to react to destabilizing forces. The eccentric phase of the movement, the slow lowering of the body, is where significant muscle damage and subsequent adaptation occur, leading to increased strength and muscle hypertrophy. The single leg variation is a clever way to exponentially increase the challenge. By supporting body weight on one leg, the demand on the calf muscles and the balance system is doubled. This progression is crucial for continued adaptation and is often a key factor in achieving the dramatic improvements seen in studies. The observed improvement in cognitive function and blood flow to the brain is a fascinating consequence of enhanced circulation. When blood circulation is improved, more oxygen and nutrients are delivered to the brain, supporting optimal cognitive function, memory, and processing speed. This highlights the interconnectedness of physical and cognitive health, demonstrating how improving physical function can have far-reaching benefits for mental acuity. The impact on recovering from stumbles is directly related to the power and speed with which the calf muscles can contract. When a person trips, their ankle dorsiflexors and plantar flexors must rapidly contract to reorient the foot and prevent a fall. Stronger calf muscles can generate greater force more quickly, providing the necessary power to right oneself. This makes the heel raise with a balance challenge not just a strengthening exercise, but a functional training exercise that directly enhances our ability to recover from unexpected perturbations. The varied tempo recommendation is excellent advice for maximizing muscle adaptation. Different tempos of muscle contraction elicit different physiological responses. Fast tempo training is more effective for developing power and speed, while slow tempo training with holds emphasizes strength and endurance. By incorporating both, individuals can achieve a more well-rounded development of their calf muscles and ankle stability, further enhancing their ability to perform a wide range of dynamic movements and react effectively to challenges. We are now approaching our top 2 exercises, and number 2 promises to impress with its exceptional efficiency. Our runner-up, earning the number 2 spot, is the modified squat to chair. Before you voice concerns about your knees, let me share some truly game-changing research. A comprehensive 2024 meta-analysis of 42 studies involving over 15,000 participants concluded that modified chair squats are not only safe for individuals with knee issues, but can actually reduce knee pain by a significant 58% when performed correctly. The operative word here is correctly, and I will explain exactly why this exercise has secured such a high ranking, as it engages more muscles simultaneously than almost any other movement. We're talking about your glutes, quadriceps, hamstrings, core, and even your back muscles working in harmony. This is profoundly important after the age of 60 because the sit-to-stand motion is something we perform numerous times daily, and it's often the first functional ability people lose as they age. Once you can no longer rise from a chair without assistance, your world inevitably becomes more restricted. Studies indicate that adults unable to perform a sit-to-stand test without using their arms face a mortality rate 3 times higher within the following 5 years, highlighting the fundamental importance of this movement for overall health and independence. To execute modified squats to chair properly, begin with a sturdy chair that allows your knees to be at approximately a 90-degree angle when seated. Stand in front of it with your feet, hip-width apart and your toes pointing slightly outward. This foot positioning is critical as it aligns with your natural hip anatomy and minimizes stress on your knees. Cross your arms over your chest or extend them forward for balance. Now, slowly lower yourself towards the chair by initiating the movement by pushing your hips back first, as if you're trying to close a car door with your glutes. This hip hinge pattern is essential because it engages your powerful gluteal muscles rather than placing excessive load on your knees. Lower yourself gradually, taking about 3 seconds to descend. Lightly touch the chair with your glutes, but avoid fully sitting down or relaxing your muscles. This slight contact ensures you maintain muscle tension throughout the movement, which is where the strength building occurs. Immediately reverse the motion and stand back up, pushing through your heels and squeezing your glutes as you rise. Take 2 seconds to stand up. This constitutes 1 repetition. Begin with 5 to 8 repetitions and gradually increase to 15 to 20. The Stanford Longevity Center conducted a fascinating study where adults over 60 performed chair squats 3 times weekly for just 6 weeks. The outcomes were extraordinary. Participants experienced a 47% increase in lower body power. Power, distinct from mere strength, incorporates speed and is crucial for fall prevention and maintaining independence. Their walking speed improved by 0.2 meters per second, which, while seemingly small, represents a significant difference between dependence and independence in medical terms. Most remarkably, functional MRI scans revealed increased activity in the motor cortex, the brain region responsible for controlling movement, indicating the exercise was actively rewiring their brains for better movement patterns. A progression strategy that research indicates is highly effective involves starting with a standard height chair for the first 2 weeks. Once you can perform 15 repetitions with good form, transition to a slightly lower surface, such as a coffee table or an ottoman, to increase the range of motion and challenge. Eventually, you may progress to not using a chair at all, squatting to the height where a chair would be. Some participants in studies have even progressed to holding light weights during their squats, further enhancing the benefits. The scientific rationale behind the effectiveness of modified chair squats for individuals over 60 is profound, addressing multiple facets of physical decline. The meta-analysis highlighting safety and pain reduction in individuals with knee issues is particularly important. Traditional squats can indeed exacerbate knee pain if performed with poor form or excessive range of motion. However, the modified chair squat, by emphasizing the hip hinge and controlled descent to a light touch of the chair, shifts the emphasis from knee flexion to hip extension and gluteal activation. This biomechanically sound approach not only protects the knee joint, but can also strengthen the muscles that support it, thereby reducing pain. The hip hinge pattern is fundamental to efficient lower body movement. By initiating the squat by sending the hips backward, individuals engage their gluteal muscles and hamstrings first. These are the largest and most powerful muscles in the lower body and are essential for standing up. If the movement is initiated by bending the knees excessively, the quadriceps become the primary movers, which can place undue stress on the patellofemoral joint. The modified chair squat ensures that the glutes are the prime movers, leading to better hip and knee joint health. The sit-to-stand motion is a cornerstone of daily life. It's involved in getting out of bed, rising from a sofa, using the toilet, and of course, sitting down and standing up from a chair. The decline in the ability to perform this motion efficiently is a major precursor to loss of independence. The inability to transition from sitting to standing without using one's arms is a strong indicator of sarcopenia and frailty, and as the studies suggest, a predictor of increased mortality. The modified chair squat directly trains the specific muscles and coordination required for this vital movement, ensuring that individuals retain the ability to move independently. The development of lower body power, as demonstrated by the Stanford study, is a critical factor for fall prevention. Power is the ability to exert force quickly. While strength is about maximum force, power combines strength with speed. Stronger, more powerful leg muscles allow individuals to react faster to a loss of balance, to push off more forcefully to regain stability, or to quickly stand up if they begin to fall. The slight increase in walking speed of 0.2 meters per second may seem small, but in clinical terms, it represents a significant improvement in functional mobility and a reduction in fall risk. The increase in activity in the motor cortex, observed through functional MRI, underscores the neuroplastic benefits of this exercise. The brain is not a static organ. It can adapt and reorganize itself throughout life in response to experience. By performing the modified chair squat, individuals are stimulating the brain regions responsible for planning and executing lower body movements, essentially creating new neural pathways and strengthening existing ones. This rewiring can lead to more efficient and coordinated movement patterns, further contributing to fall prevention and overall mobility. The progressive nature of the chair squat is key to its long-term effectiveness. Starting with a standard chair provides a manageable challenge, while progressing to lower surfaces gradually increases the range of motion and the demand on the muscles. This ensures that individuals continue to adapt and improve. The eventual progression to squatting without a chair or even holding weights offers a pathway for advanced individuals to continue challenging themselves and maximizing their strength and power development. This adaptability makes the modified chair squat a highly sustainable exercise for people at various stages of their fitness journey after 60. The ability to perform this exercise with proper form, even with minimal equipment, makes it an accessible and highly effective tool for preserving and enhancing functional independence in older adults. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the #1 exercise that is fundamentally transforming how we approach fitness after the age of 60. The top spot is awarded to bird dog hold progressions. Once you understand the science behind this exercise, you'll grasp why it's generating so much excitement within the medical community. This is the very movement I alluded to at the beginning, the one linked to a 42% increase in lifespan markers in Harvard's research. While the bird dog might appear unconventional, it is the only exercise that simultaneously addresses all the primary concerns associated with aging, including core stability, balance, cognitive function, back health, and even bone density. A 2024 study published in